All right, let's dive in. Today, we are plunging into a multi-generational saga of destiny, power, and prophecy. This is a story where a single promise charts the course for entire empires, and a rivalry between brothers ignites before they are even born.
Our story doesn't kick off with some big battle or a clash of armies. No, it starts with a solemn command. It's a charge given by a dying patriarch that is literally going to ripple through history, guided by an unseen hand. So here we are, in the final years of the patriarch Abraham. He's about to launch a sacred quest, but he's not after more land or riches or power. He's looking for the one person who can carry his legacy forward. And to make sure this happens, he binds his most trusted servant to an absolutely unbreakable vow to find her. Now, this was no simple handshake or a pinky promise. This was a covenant, sealed by an ancient physical act of loyalty. Placing a hand under the thigh, it symbolized that the entire future of the lineage, the very seed of Abraham, rested on the success of this one single mission. The stakes couldn't be higher. And the instructions, they were absolute, crystal clear. First, do not find a wife from the local Canaanites. This was all about preserving a distinct spiritual bloodline. Second, you must go back to my homeland, to my own people. And don't worry, because God's angel has already cleared the path for you. But there's an out. If the woman says no, you're free from the oath. Destiny can't be forced. The final rule, though, is the most important. Under no circumstances do you bring my son back there, ever. So, with that oath sworn and the weight of generations on his shoulders, Abraham's servant travels with this caravan of 10 camels all the way to the patriarch's homeland. But he's not just randomly searching for someone. He is actively seeking a sign, a divine confirmation that will reveal the chosen one. He's standing at a well outside the city, the ancient version of a town square, and he comes up with a test. He prays for a very specific, totally undeniable sign, something so generous and so precise that it could only be the hand of God at work. The test had 2 parts, and it was brilliant. It measured both basic courtesy and, extraordinary generosity. I mean, it's one thing to give a thirsty traveler a drink of water. That's just being decent. It is another thing entirely to volunteer for the back-breaking labor of watering 10 thirsty camels. We're talking hundreds of gallons of water here. And this is where the story just hits the accelerator. It's an incredible moment of almost impossible speed. The answer to his prayer literally arrives before the prayer has even fully left his lips. Divine timing just completely outpaces human speech. It's wild. Just as the thought is forming in his mind, boom, Rebekah appears. He asks for a drink, and she immediately offers it. The first part of the sign is complete, just like that. But honestly, it's what happens next that confirms everything. You gotta notice the language here. The text is very specific. It says she hasted and she ran. She doesn't just offer, she doesn't just walk. There's this incredible urgency, this energy to her actions. This isn't just generosity anymore. It's a powerful, immediate response that feels like a miraculous confirmation. And get this, she draws water not for 1 or 2, but for all 10 camels until they are completely satisfied. The sign is confirmed in full. This incredibly demanding physical task is performed with speed and without a single moment of hesitation. The chosen one has been found. Mission accomplished. So, the chosen one, Rebekah, marries Isaac, and the next link in the chain is secure. But the next chapter of this saga, it doesn't begin with peace and happiness. It starts with a profound, painful mystery that unfolds from inside her own body. For 2 decades, they wait. 20 long years pass before Isaac's prayer for a child is finally answered. But this long-awaited answer doesn't lead to tranquility. Oh no, it leads to a violent internal war. Yeah, this was no ordinary pregnancy. This was a conflict so intense, so physically taxing, that it drove her to despair. In her anguish, she just cries out, "Why is this happening to me?" And she goes to seek answers from the wise elders, Shem and Eber, to try and understand the war that's just raging within her. And the Lord reveals a staggering truth. This isn't just a struggle between 2 brothers. It's the very dawn of a rivalry between 2 nations. And in a stunning reversal of tradition, destiny is already decided. The elder will serve the younger. This completely upends the entire cultural bedrock of the firstborn getting everything. It signals that this new nation's order will be determined by divine will, not human custom. So as the twin boys, Jacob and Esau, grow up, this prophecy is just hanging over them. And Abraham, in his wisdom, he sees the future with perfect clarity. He knows exactly where the true spiritual legacy of the covenant must be passed. And right here, we see this critical split in affection. Isaac, the father, he loves Esau, the rugged, cunning hunter, the man of action. But Abraham, the patriarch, he sees with spiritual eyes. He knows the prophecy, and he loves Jacob because he understands he is the chosen vessel of destiny. So in his final days, Abraham does something amazing. He bypasses his own son Isaac, and he bypasses the elder grandson Esau. He doesn't just give Jacob a nice blessing. He transfers the entire spiritual authority of all prior generations, all the way back to Adam himself, directly onto Jacob. The immense love and the profound weight of this moment are all captured in this one act. He holds his grandson Jacob in his arms and kisses him 7 times. This is a deeply personal transfer of power, a final solemn anointing of this divine legacy. And just like that, with that act, the line is chosen, the covenant is passed on, the future is irrevocably set in motion, all before Abraham draws his final breath. But this epic saga doesn't just wrap up with a blessing. Not at all. With the same clarity that he saw the chosen heir, Abraham also foresees a dark, corrupted future for the very generations that will spring from this sacred covenant. He sees a future where the world just grows old way too fast, where human lifespans plummet from nearly 1,000 years down to just 70 or 80. He sees a world where society completely inverts itself, the young start condemning the old, and where strife between the rich and the poor erupts over the very legacy he just passed down. And the prophecy culminates in this absolutely chilling vision, a curse of accelerated age and decay. A child's hair will turn white with age in a matter of weeks. It's this horrifying physical manifestation of the world's spiritual corruption. So this entire epic is a chain of divine promises and human choices, stretching across generations. But it really leaves us to wonder, is the weight of a legacy like this, a destiny chosen before you're even born, is that ultimately a gift? Or is it a burden, just destined to break the very people who carry it?